Hey, hello, everybody. I'm so excited. We have two special guests today. Maria Gabriela Gama from Sao Paulo, Brazil, one of our newest artists, and Agent Kim Fleming, who so many of you know, who I made to show up on here instead of just being behind the scenes because she is going to be able to ask so many questions about picture books to Maria Gabriela. And I know you're just going to really enjoy hearing an agent's point of view. And she's also a picture book illustrator, Kim is. So you're going to get a lot out of this, I'm sure. I'm so glad that you're here. We're going to have a nice session. Let me introduce Maria to you. Maria lives in the countryside of Sao Paulo State, Brazil. She found her passion for children's books while in college studying graphic design, and that's when she started her journey as a freelance illustrator. After graduating and taking her first illustrating children's book course in 2020, she decided to quit her day job as at an ad agency to become a full-time illustrator. We're going to talk all about that. Super brave move, I know. Type in if you are working at a job and want to be an illustrator. She has worked with self-published authors, local publishers, educational companies, and recently worked with American Greetings. And we are so glad that we are her agents now.
Yay.
And
so happy to have you, Maria.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
We're so happy to have you. So tell us about where you live. I've never been to Brazil. I would like to invite myself to visit.
You're welcome to come visit.
Good.
I'll come too. We'll do a whole Lilla Rogers Studio trip.
Absolutely.
Yes, that would be amazing. So I live in a countryside, like smaller town, but not too small, in São Paulo state. It is called Bauru. It's not my hometown, but I came here to actually study, and I stayed. But I live about 4 hours from São Paulo city, which is, I guess, the biggest city in the country. So yeah.
And if I were to go outside of your house or apartment, what would I see?
I guess you would see a lot of houses and trees and things like that. I don't live in the rural side.
Okay.
I live in the city, but it's not really like the biggest city ever. I like it. I like that here is like a middle ground. Like it's not too crowded, but also not like
so rural. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can have
quite nice.
So you can have, like, is there an art supply store or something?
Yes, yes.
Good.
Great.
Your little cafes you can go to. And
yes.
That's
great.
Nice.
So, okay, so I want to know first and foremost, how did you go from what did you do at the ad agency? And then how did you go from that to having the guts to leave that steady situation to becoming an illustrator? So what did you do there?
So since the middle of my graduation, I've always gotten internships in ad agencies. Like I went through like 2 or 4 or 3. And the last one that I got into, they decided to keep me as an employee. And I was very grateful because that's not, not everyone has this chance to have a job right after they graduate.
Right.
So yeah, I was doing like graphic design work. I was working for clients like shopping malls or construction companies.
Yeah.
And I was doing like social media and logos and ad campaigns, all very graphic, and I didn't really have the chance to actually illustrate much at all.
Mhm.
So even though it was a creative thing, in a day-to-day basis, it becomes sometimes a little stagnant.
Yeah.
So I was thinking like, oh, maybe I should focus on what I really want to do. So I was also doing like freelance illustration at night after I got back from my 9 to 6 job. So, yeah.
And did you always know that you wanted to illustrate children's books? Was that what you spent your nights doing?
So since the middle of my graduate of my university experience, let's say, I've always I actually always knew like I needed to do branding and graphic design because that's what would get me work.
Right.
But yeah, misconception. But in the middle, I got to know a lot of people. A lot of people come from all around the country to study where I studied. So I got to meet a lot of people with different backgrounds and different interests. And I got to know that there were people that actually worked with illustration, and specifically a few that worked with editorial and children's books. And I was like, whoa, it never clicked. It never clicked to me that I could do that. And I was like, well, that seems perfect for me because I really love like the cute things, like the children universe, like animation. I really love animation, and I'm in contact with that all the time. And I was like, yeah, I think I should give it a shot. And now here I am.
Well, it's a success story is what it is. And it's
Yeah.
inspiring to others because, and it's interesting how, like, I remember too, when I first learned about illustration, I was at a job, I was at Barnes and Noble in 1976 in the art department using magic markers to do signage. Isn't that hilarious? So long ago. Cookbooks 40% off. So we just have a whole list of like signs
Oh,
to do in lettering and markers, because I mean they didn't have like when you needed something printed, it was a very big deal, very expensive, and you went to a big print shop and so forth. So that's what we did because they needed a lot. Anyway, someone came once and showed her illustration portfolio to the creative director in the illustration department, and I was like, wow, what is that? Never heard of it. So it is interesting, how we find what it is. Okay, so you saw some people that did illustration and animation. You love that. So then you took your first Make Art That Sells course, illustrating children's books, in 2020. A course, for those that don't know, a course that I teach with Zoe Tucker, art director. And so what was that like? What was that like?
First of all, whenever I discovered a Make Art That Sells, like when I was determined to actually do this and become a children's book illustrator, I was like searching the web for all the info I could get into the industry, into how to make a children's book, and how can you get a book deal and things like that. And I stumbled across Make Art That Sells, which was great. So I ate up all the free content that was there. I watched a lot of the Facebook lives that were on the Facebook. And it was so informative, and I was like fascinated that artists could get agents. So that was a mind blow for me. And so then I decided at the time I was still studying and doing internships and stuff. So I was saving some money actually to take the first job, take the first course actually. And I did that, and I was so excited. I did a maths prep, and those were 5 weeks of very extensive and intensive work, because I was actually still working at the ad agency.
What?
I would get home at 7 and I would have to actually, I was actually freelance illustrating a book at the time. So I had to do the book and also do the and also do the course.
You're a hard worker. Wow.
Yeah,
It's
so it
good.
was kind of crazy.
It's good that you've got energy.
Yeah, I don't know how I did it, to be honest.
When did you
But
graduate? When did you graduate from school?
I graduated late 2019. So I was already graduate. I had already graduated.
Oh my God, and you already have an agent.
Yes, that's crazy for me.
It's crazy. That's great. I'm happy for you. I really am. That's what makes me happy. Okay, so I'm really curious, and Kim, I want you to chime in too on your work process, how you sit down to get started. What do you do when you get a book, a picture book, because you've done a number of them now, and how do you, like, whoa, you have this like 16 spreads to illustrate a character design. Like, what do you do? How do you attack it?
Well, I mean, first I get all the information I need, obviously, like the manuscript. If there is normally, because I worked before with independent authors, there's not a art director involved. So I have to do the questioning to them, like, okay, so like to talk about the the art, what they envision, I don't know what kind of feeling they want to portray and things like that. So it's double the work, I'd say.
Yes.
So yeah, this process is like the first thing, and I highlight a lot of words that I think are important, words that describe the characters. I take them to a Photoshop window and I write these things, and I get reference. I get images from the internet, from, I don't know, maybe if there's anything useful, something that I've taken myself. Reference from art styles as well, for characters, from animation, from mid-century design, all of it that I think that could capture the essence of the story, so I can mishmash everything and make it to a new thing. But also, yeah.
What you're saying is you have so many different sources that you bring in, so you're not copying, because your work is all very consistently you. You have a strong style. That's one of the things we liked. So while you do use these different sources, it's you take bits and pieces and then make it your own. Cool.
Yes.
I just had a question on style too, because as Lilla just said, that is something that we look at as an agency. I think most agents are the same, that they look for a very distinct style, and that's something that we saw in your work. Where did that come from? I know you said you're really interested in animation, but it seems to me a style or a voice is something that takes an artist a really long time to develop, quite often. But you have had a very quick journey from school to work to agent, and your style is very distinctive and very, very honed already. So I'm just curious as to when you started developing that style and how it came about.
Well, first of all, thank you.
And you know what? I'm going to pop up her thing while we keep talking, her PDF, so people can see what she's referring to. Okay, so do answer Kim's question.
I think at the beginning, I didn't really know what to do. I think what I did was I started to develop like a mental library and try to figure out what I like and what I don't like in some kind of work, and trying to bring it and mix it. So at the beginning, you always try to copy. Sometimes you may think your style is similar to someone else. And I think that's normal, and you will develop over time and get away from it and try to chime in other references. And what I think actually helped me was at the beginning, I followed a lot of artists that were very similar in style. And I said, oh, okay, I want to be them. However, what I think what flipped was when I started following artists that had completely different styles than what I actually liked and wanted to do, because they could have other takes and inspirations, and that could enrich my repertoire, let's say. So yeah, just follow, and also trying to get reference from different places, not exactly what you want to be, what you want to do, because you don't want to be someone else, you want to be yourself.
Right, of course.
And yeah, it's very hard in the beginning, but you have to, I don't know, just experience, also like go to museums, go to theater, and everything, like and you see like, oh, this thing makes me feel good, so I try to
yes,
transfer that to my art.
I'm going to interject. You said something really interesting. Two things: how you go to other sources like museums, which may have paintings from 200 years ago or something, but there's something you see in a Bernard brushwork or something. And how you say it makes you feel good, what you're looking at. And that is so key. I always say it's not intellectual. It's not an intellectual pursuit. It's gut, it's heart, it's body, it's soul. I love this, and this tray here, the tabouret with the shelves and everything. I mean, just those added touches make it so wonderful. And how you compose the page is so beautiful. We right away do see the main character, very important, with an expression and pose that art directors look for in a style, but you also have a beautiful color palette that's vivid, and it's glowy, it's electric. I would say your color style is electric. It's very sort of Brazilian to me, which I think we all here at the agency loved.
That's definitely one thing that stood out to me about your work, was your color palettes. Just every piece is different, but they all glow. They all have your flavor in them, and they're just really striking for lots of different reasons. But your color palettes definitely make them jump off the page.
Really vivid.
Yeah.
This was for Matt's, right? Or was it? Yeah, because we have a week of expressions where we want the illustrator to do a page of expressions. It's a great way to get a picture book. It proves to the whole theme of the week, and we just finished that week and last week in the course we're running. And the whole purpose is, can you prove to the art director that you can do expressions? And you have this sort of delight and this contentedness and surprise and maybe fearful, even the tip of the head, how the scarf kind of plays a little bit of a role, maybe, well, maybe not, but really charming. Kim, your thoughts on this?
Yeah, it's gorgeous. And you do show that range of emotions that art directors look for. They want to know, if they give you a story about a boy who's scared, that you're going to be able to render that in, in the right tones. And you've definitely shown a wide variety here. It's great. And I love your composition of the page too, how you have like the one boy who's, full body, and he's sort of the focus, and then the others mosaic around. Yeah. It's beautiful.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to add that this piece is inspired and done by it was inspired by the maker. I'm sorry, the ICB 2020 that I took. However, at the time, I was not actually satisfied with what I did in the course. So this was months later, like even I think a year after that I redid it. So I think it's like you don't get it right the first time every time. So just want to get it out there.
Yeah, no, that's good for people to know. You can always go back and revisit pieces, and
Yeah.
it's a good thing to do because your aesthetic changes.
Absolutely. Anybody who cannot see the PDF I'm showing, it's there. It's probably behind your screen. Press escape to remove it's in a pop-up window. So Susan, that should answer your question. Okay. All right. So let's move on.
I just wanted to add to, like,
Yes, this
for
one.
those who have taken ICB, illustrating children's books through Make Art That Sells, it is a very intense course. It's an amazing course, and you learn so much and you get so much done in 5 weeks, but it is very intense. And if you have another life going on, you know, children or a job or whatever it might be, it can be hard to get the pieces to the level where you want them to in just 1 week. So
Yes.
yeah, so I think that's really great to point out that you can keep working on them after the course and
Absolutely.
to that
We just really want to do our due diligence. Zoe and I, my co-teacher, we want to give people what they really need. If they're serious, we want to really give you everything you need to get the work. So yes, I've always been that kind of teacher. Even when I taught kids, I pushed them hard, like hopefully in a kind, loving, supportive way. But you want to bring out the best in people, and look what Maria Gabriela did. So let's look at the next one. I mean, this is fantastic. This was tell us about this one, Character Bootcamp.
Yes, it was for a character play boot camp. We did first I did the Coco Moloko, which is the donut character, and this is the sheet for the toy pitch. Let's say this is like the first toy
Pitch
sheet I have ever done.
Yeah, what I love about it too is your graphic design experience really comes in handy. You see how we have a column here and a column here, and the same with when you did the previous with this. We've got 3 columns and a line here. It's very gridded up, which makes a good read. It's easy to read. I would make your name a little bigger so we can read it. I know all of you very humble artists out there. The color palette is beautiful. How you got this felt texture, man? What are you working in to get the felt texture?
Actually, I downloaded a free felt texture, and I added it because I wanted it to feel like lifelike, let's say. So
Yes.
I did that.
You did a great job. And look at this, like this really feels, you have a little bit of shadow here, shading and shadow here, and a little bit of depth, dimension to it, the thickness here. So you do get a feeling of the puffiness. Really great. I'd love to get that made for you. That would be cool.
And again, the colors are just wow, they're amazing.
Yes. And it's hard to do bright colors well without being garish or, to be joyful. I would say your colors are joyful. You do use interesting bright colors, use neutrals. It's all good. Okay, here we go. So now this you did before my classes, right? Or well, not for class. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it was in between, after. This is actually a piece, like a redesign of characters I did like in 2017, 2018, when I launched a self-published book with my friends. And I really wanted to freshen them up because I really loved the characters. So I wanted to revisit them and make them what I would do, how I would do them today, and give them my little touch, and the story, in the story, the kids find different characters in the way. One of them is a wizard, the other is a pirate, the other is a sheriff, and there's also a monkey. So I thought it would be interesting to have them like wear costumes like it's Halloween, and just dress up as them, like as a reference to the movie or to the book
It's
that we
wonderful.
wrote together.
It's wonderful. Okay, here's another beautiful scene. Great textures, a lot more texture in this one. Do
Yeah.
you use a certain Procreate brush or Photoshop brush? What do you use for that?
Actually, I have just gotten an iPad, so all of this is Photoshop.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't really pinpoint what brush it is, but it is a mixture of a pencil brush and a dry pastel
Beautiful.
brush.
Very lively. Great.
And again, I'm just going to keep coming back to your palette. Your palette is just so fantastic. Do you like, so when you start a piece, do you work out what your palette is going to be before you start painting, or do you coloring, or do you start coloring and then it sort of works out along the way, or how do you choose your palettes?
I gotta say it's kind of tricky because I guess sometimes it comes in different ways, but I guess the main thing is, I think, what feel I wanted to bring. Like this piece, I wanted it, since it's like in the forest or jungle, he's mounting on the zebra. I wanted it to be very warm,
Yeah.
and contrasted with the very cold green underneath it. But I wanted it to be warm, so I started using some yellows and oranges. And actually, this was interesting because I think it was part of a prep of a maths prep from for one of the
yes.
courses.
I know
I guess
what that thing is.
yeah.
Oh, I wonder.
I guess Lilla took a photo of a lot of different objects and told
Wow.
to create a story or create a
that's cool.
character. And I think it was like a zebra with a thing on the collar.
Okay.
So I guess it was my first
this?
takeaway.
Was it this? Was that in the photo?
Yeah.
Isn't that the coolest thing?
That is so great. Because I was thinking like a yellow zebra, this sort of buttery yellow zebra is so, unusual. I've never seen that before. So that's hilarious. That it comes.
Yeah. So inspiration comes in all over the place. It can come from a lot of different places. In this case, from a prompt that you guys sent.
That's great.
This is, I have to tell you about this. I got this in the early 70s in San Francisco at an import-export shop. It's probably paper mache or something, and it's hand painted. This is actually hand painted silk.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that incredible? This is maybe wool.
It's like a zebra, but it's wearing a cow coat or something.
And then look at this. It's got a scarf with little like fluff. It's extraordinary. And in all my travels, and I moved maybe 16 times since then, I kept it with me. It's precious.
Yes.
I don't know how it got all tangled. But anyway, back to your art. So that's what it is. That's cool, man. That's cool. Okay. Brought it to life.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, the yellow came from it, and then from it,
Sorry.
like the other colors came about.
Right.
I'm sorry. I'm at the wheel here. Okay, I love the introduction of the chocolatey maroony brown in the background because I think it just adds, I just love the color palette with the bright colors. It's really, really rich and so pretty. So this is a cover you did for Zoe's story, Escape to Dodo Island.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful cover. I could see it being embossed. I could see the lettering being gold foil. I could see these
Yeah.
flowers maybe being embossed or something, or this circle. Is pretty wonderful. And look at this little critter. And how you
Was
did
really
the
fun.
names is really a nice touch. Yeah, it's good to
Yeah.
show covers in your portfolio, because it's not only does it show that you could handle a cover, which is the most important piece you'll do in a book. That's the thing that's going to be seen all over the internet and where people click buy and everything and gets the attention. So that's important. But also it will get you other kinds of work that involves lettering, in this case, also decorative pattern, character work, and so advertising work, a range of things. So it's just a good piece to have in your portfolio for a number of reasons. I'm
Yeah.
going to move along because we're only at page 9 of
I was just going to
23.
say one little thing, that your lettering is great. And we have had artists who have been commissioned to just do the lettering for a cover of a picture book.
Oh.
So that's a thing too. If you
That's a
really
good,
enjoy lettering, to do some covers for your portfolio, just the lettering even can be commissioned as
Yeah.
a
or
job.
just do like quotes.
Yeah.
Maria
Mhm.
Gabriela, just do quotes.
Okay.
I freaking love this one.
So cute.
I love this one. I remember when we were looking over your work, I mean, it's so, there's so many artists we want to take on, and we're a small agency.
Mhm.
We really like individualized attention. We have a really great ratio artist to agent. And so while we'd like to take on like about 50 students in my classes all the time, we really have to be very
Yeah.
scrutinizing and make really smart decisions. But this is one of the pieces among many among many, this wasn't the only one, but I love it. I guess that's all I'm trying to say. It's beautiful. And it showed a different, like, I knew all your characters. I loved your characters. But then this to me was a piece that I could see for kid toys, home decor, ceramic ware, bolt fabric. It extended your brand to more product. So that was cool. What about you, Kim, when you saw this? What did you think? Do you
Yeah,
remember?
I thought toy immediately, because I could just see it being a little tea set for little ones to play with. They're so sweet and accessible, and just such
Yes.
lovely little
Yeah.
characters. Yeah, yeah.
It's not easy to do cute well. It's not as easy as it looks.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, I think I'm going to be saying this now. Oh no, this was the one that made me, but this was your lighting, cinematic. By the way, I'd love to see you do some GIFs and some little animations, and we'd love to pitch
Mhm.
those. So you do that stuff, right, Maria Gabriela?
Can do that.
You can do it. Yeah, you
Have
can.
done that before, yeah.
And you have everything on layers, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so it should be pretty easy. My daughter Natasha used to do all our gifts, but she was freelancing, but now she has a full-time job. So
Oh.
we're gonna have our artists do it if they are able to, which is
Mhm.
actually very good for your career, motion graphics. Great
Yeah.
characters, great scene, great storytelling, great creativity, like the mushroom caps on their head. They're playing pretend in some way. This richness of color is really beautiful. It's also very kind of Disney World 1960s,
Mhm.
Mary Blair-ish, but I wouldn't look at it
Yeah.
and say, oh, it's a Mary Blair. It's
Mhm.
still very you. And Mary Blair, I think she only had white people. Is that true? I don't know. But that was the old days.
Mostly.
Yeah,
And I
right.
love how you can really see your hand in some of the texture, like the in the leaves of the tree, and in some of the swirlies in the bushes.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
got that real
Mhm.
hand-drawn feel to it, which is lovely.
And your anatomy of the kids is really strong. It's correct. they're the right age. You know, the picture books should
Mhm.
be around a 5-year-old for the main character. I'm talking picture books. I'm not talking YA or middle grade or board book. I'm talking picture book, which is
Mhm.
like 2 to 5, but the reader is age 2 to 5, but the character is age 5. So, and I love this, you know, just like
Yeah.
little bits and pieces. It's also kind of fiery and
Mm.
and what's this light coming from? A lot of mystery. It does give a sense of they're sort of in a mysterious secret place. Lovely.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Mhm.
that's wow. What? That's great. This is almost could be picture book or middle grade.
Yeah, it's almost.
Don't you think, Kim?
Yeah, it's very chapter booky.
Yeah.
You know, like I could see this as a chapter head or an illustration in, you know, like a black and white chapter
Mhm.
book. Have you ever done any black and white work?
I haven't,
No.
but
Put that on your to-do list.
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
And she's just
I love
finishing up like a whole bunch of books.
Yeah.
So, and we're giving her more, but you don't have to do it. Take your time.
Mhm.
Fabulous scene. Again, very cinematic, great lighting, very, very contemporary. Lydia, hi Lydia, says, I can see a Netflix series. Yeah, that would be nice. I'd love
That would
that.
be amazing.
Be amazing. And this character is so lively, full of energy, and how she's looking at it. Like you
Mhm.
wonder, well, what is the panda saying? And I feel like the panda is actually a stuffed animal that's come to life at night. And maybe she's surprised at that or delighted, or maybe she already knows that, or it's great. And look at the glow she's able to create here.
And all the little details of like, there's a little panda picture on the wall that, you know, maybe the girl
Yeah.
drew.
Yeah,
Things
I
like
love
that, you know.
detail.
Yeah, things like that. Kids love to look and find all the little
Yes.
secrets.
Yeah. Oh, here's the other panda. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's and picture books need to have more in there so the parent doesn't like want to like shoot themselves for the 50th time they're reading it. I shouldn't why did I say that? That was so wrong. I shouldn't say that.
We'll edit that part out.
You'll edit that in post.
Edit
Edit that
it.
in post. Okay. Beautiful. Great motion. Great cover. Will you translate this for us? I don't speak Portuguese.
This would be like a brother is born. It's about like a kid
Oh,
that is going to welcome a new brother.
well, you totally captured. This is a very tender, certainly it's an enthusiastic face, but it's very tender. And look at the eyebrow, the position of the eyebrow, the eye. This one is, he's just happy to see his big brother. And this
Mhm.
one is a little more gentle. He's a little more like, hi, come here, little guy, right?
Yeah.
You really got that. It's very tender. It was like, this was like my son with my daughter. He was so sweet. Still is a good boy. Okay. Love her. She's gorgeous.
Yeah, love
I
the
want
top.
her hair. She's really
Yeah.
settled into the sofa. She's really relaxed into it. Yeah, I want to be here too, Lydia. Be her.
Mhm.
The plants, the dad is like a cool dad, cool mom, love the different skin tones, the snuggling, the cuddling, her belly. It's really strong, really strong. You should be really proud. Oh, I love them again. You know, I mean, when we saw this body of work, these pages you did, we're like, okay, yeah, Maria Gabriela can do a kid book.
Yeah.
Like, we're
That's a job.
convinced. And we need to be convinced to know that our clients, art directors and editors will be convinced. Like, we're kind of being them. That's what agents do, right? Kim, you want to explain what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I mean, in the same way that you need to convince an art director that you can illustrate a children's book, we look for the same things. So we look for your character poses and expressions. We look that you can do a scene, you know, you've got all the perspective, right? Nothing's looking wonky. It's very believable. Your color palettes, as I've been saying the whole way along. So, you know, we look at all these things too, and we look at an artist's complete body of work to see that they can demonstrate all these things. And that's for picture books specifically, obviously. But, you know, we saw all that in your work right off the bat.
Yep. Okay. Oh, they're there again. And again, the little boy is really enthusiastic, and this boy is more protective, older brother, tender. That's pretty fantastic how you were able to capture that. How do you, I always say when you're an illustrator, you're kind of like an actor, you get in the role. Is that what you did?
Yes, I mean, they wanted the book to be very, very sensitive. So I wanted to portray that in the poses and the color palette, very warm, very bright. So yeah, I mean, I can't put really my personal experience because I have no brothers, unfortunately. But yeah, I tried to convey it as best as I could.
Well, you understand a feeling of tenderness.
Yeah.
You're human. Yeah. You're a human being. This is really strong. Do you want to hold, do you have that to hold up?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Can you see it?
Yes.
My
wow. Congrats.
That's glaring.
So, and this is going to be our giveaway today, right?
Yeah.
At the end, we'll do our traditional giveaway contest, and a lucky winner will get this book.
Kim, this is why I'm glad you're on screen, because oh yeah. Oh, by the way, we're doing a giveaway of Maria Gabriela's book. I forgot to mention. Okay.
Don't forget to mention that, Lilla.
What's that?
Don't forget to mention that.
Okay, gotcha. Great cover. I love this one. I love this guy. I love this guy. It's, you know, and the thing is, you want to show specificity. When you're writing, you create a character, you sketch out a character in words, okay? When you look at a movie, a really good movie, you know, people, when you watch in the beginning, it's not like a generic person that has no personality. Like right away, the screenwriter and actor have etched out a character that's really unique. Like, oh my God, her house is a mess. There's like an empty bottle of wine on the coffee table. Okay, drinking maybe is an issue. She's kind of a mess. She can't find, she's rummaging around in her purse, can't find her phone, and she gets in the car and she has a flat tire. Like, it's already sketched out. You need to have specificity. Maybe her hair is sort of a mess. And okay, so, and the same way too, you have the characters with specificity in their clothing, like the pencil behind his ear. He's reading the paper, he's in a jogging suit, right? And then, and this little kid has a lot of sass and sparkle. It's so great. What is this with the, tell me about these things on the hair. What is that?
This was a personal request from the author. This is actually based on her family. So she said that she wanted the girls to wear, I don't know how to pronounce it properly. I guess it's bonnets or bonnets.
Oh, bonnet.
Yeah, they wrap around their hair so they stay
oh, so neat.
They stay tied in the morning. So and she wanted to include that. Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's what I should wear so my curls don't get totally frizzy. Is that what you do?
I don't, but
usually I just re-wet them in the morning.
Yeah, I do that too as well.
Yeah. Oh, silk.
Yeah, it's made of silk. Yeah.
How do you know that, Greg Vineyard? I think you have straight hair. That's cool. I like a man that knows women's hair products. Okay, this is gorgeous. I love a good street scene. Love a good street scene because I enjoy it, but also I'm old, I know things, says Greg. And because there's a lot to look at, we can enjoy. I love shops. I mean, I love shops. I just love a town with really charming boutiques or Soho or Hell's Kitchen and wandering around shops. So, and you've got a candy shop, you've got a pizzeria, a music shop, a bookstore, store of fashion, and all this in the sky. You've got a park, the hot dog stand, streets. There's just like a kid can envision. It just is pretty great. Okay, I'm going to zip along. Kim, did you have a comment?
I just love this
Okay.
piece. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. Lots of colors too, lots of different colors. This is really powerful. I feel like this is very South American energy, very Brazilian, very like, what's the Brazilian thing? The carnival,
Carnival, yeah. Definitely. Yeah, I really personally just enjoy drawing women and flowers and everything colorful. So I just went for it.
I'm glad you did.
I love this because, a lot of your work is very children's book oriented, but this is one that could be for a different market. I see it as like a journal cover or something like that.
Yeah, I actually did this for Assignment Bootcamp.
Oh, okay.
I guess it is supposed to be a journal cover.
Oh, I also see it for like a chronicle book that's very art driven, which I'm obsessed with at the moment, art driven books, where every page is illustrated like this. Do you have any ideas for a really pretty small book that would have some words and some art, maybe like an interest, a hobby, anything? I'm putting you on the spot. You can say, I'll have to think about that. Or
I think I have commented on it, but I really love to portray different, would love to be able to portray different cultures, including my own, in a book, maybe through clothing or food. I think that's very interesting to me. I really love to know about this stuff.
Would that be a board book, or are you thinking for people your age? What are you thinking?
I don't know, maybe I have never done a board book, but I think it would be interesting, but maybe more like grown kids and I mean tweens maybe, and adults. Like,
yeah,
I really like that.
So
let's think about it.
If here's another thing I'm adding to your list, which you never have to get to. I'm just suggesting, but if you want to, just schedule a time with me and we'll brainstorm some ideas. You don't have to do the whole book. You do a few pages. We come up with a table of contents, and it's not too hard to do. I think it would be really, really
do that.
Yeah, that would be really, really fun. Okay.
I love it.
It is now with LRS. Fantastic. That's pretty wonderful. Why don't we, Susan, you're coming over when this is over, right? Susan McCabe, agent. We're now going to do the giveaway, which is here. So I think a lot of you have been here before. I'm seeing lots of familiar names. The giveaway, will you hold up the book again, what they will win? This is a book you've illustrated. You've illustrated how many books now at your tender age?
I think 6 or 7. I mean, now other ones are coming out, so a little more than that.
Amazing. Amazing. So I'm going to ask a question and you answer. You can answer in the chat as many times as you want, as many guesses. We will pick the first answer. Oh, yeah, yeah. Show a few pages. Show a few pages. Send us some of those pages too, because the more art we have, I don't think we have. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. The more art we have, the better. So
Okay.
I'm not sure I've seen all of them.
Okay, I will send them all.
Oh, good. Okay. Here's the question. Type ready if you're ready in the comments, people. Okay, good. The question is, what pet does Maria Gabriela's parents have 4 of?
Not a llama.
It has to be a specific thing, not just, you know, rabbit, like, or bird, or has to be
A
the
type
kind of thing.
type of the thing. Ooh, it's going
Yeah.
very slowly. Nobody knows.
Getting there.
Bullying.
I'll give you a hint. It is a bird. So what kind of, and
Type
of
of
course it
bird.
is South American.
Toucan.
It's actually not, but there are a lot of
Are
them.
they African?
I think they're Australian.
Cockatoo? Somebody wrote.
Oh, Rodrigo answered in Portuguese.
Oh, is that it? Cockatoo?
Yes, it's
Oh, perfect.
calopsita in Portuguese. In
Oh.
Portuguese.
Well, first Maria Clara Reschke, to host and panelist, she said cockatoo, Cacatau, is that it?
I didn't see
It's
that one.
it's cockatiel.
Oh, okay, so Marcia Spohr wrote cockatiel.
But Rodrigo got it first. He got
Oh, Rodrigo, is that right? Calapista?
Yeah, yeah. that's
Okay, all right, so Rodrigo,
right. I guess in Portuguese counts, right?
yeah.
yes, absolutely.
You know it counts. We don't.
Yes, Rodrigo Cordero.
Cordero. He's
Yeah.
an amazing illustrator.
Oh,
fantastic.
cool.
So Rodrigo, you can email me. It's Kim, Kim @lillarogers.com. I'll put it in the chat,
Mhm.
and we'll organize for your prize to be sent out to you.
And thank you everyone for letting me fumble with the correct answer. But that's how we roll. We're just, this isn't like, you
This
don't
is real life.
sign, yeah, like all these things like cannot, to enter, you must blah, blah. This is just like chill here. Thank you, everybody. Well, this was so wonderful. I loved spending time with you. What I love about these webinars, Kim, is I get to know the artists even better.
I know,
Because
me
so
too.
often
I love
it's-
that too.
it's oh, we need your images, this is great, thank you for your bio, blah, blah. But just to kind of hang out, it's really a pleasure.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was a
Thank
pleasure
you
for
for having
me.
me along too.
And I'm coming to Brazil with my husband. We'll come in your summer, and you said December.
Okay,
Good.
come in December.
Okay, what would we do
Very
there? What would, and Andy speaks Portuguese, so that's great. My husband, what would we do?
That helps a lot.
Mhm.
What we can discuss. We can go to the beach, maybe, or to museums in Sao Paulo.
Yeah, okay. Sounds good. Well, it was wonderful spending time with you, and we will talk to you soon. Thank you, everybody, for attending. Susan,
Thank
I'll
you so
see you
much.
soon. Thank you.
Everyone.
Bye.
Bye.